And we're live right now, George.
Hello.
Take it away. We're taking only questions from Instagram. The tally starts now. Go, George.
Okay, we got one from Andrea here. How do you prioritize paying off the house versus saving for kids' college when both seem urgent? Ooh, that's an interesting one. Well, it depends on the kid's age. If they're about to go to college, let's focus on making sure they go to college debt-free. If the kids are 1 year old and you can start saving in an ESA or 529, then I'm okay putting more of that margin onto the house. So it all depends on how old the kids are, how urgent it is, how expensive the schooling is, but do it debt-free.
All
Love
right,
it.
Amel, step 3. I'm a stay-at-home mom wanting to make extra money. I teach memory tricks to kids. I teach on I'm not going to try to endorse anything. So she teaches on an online platform. How do I stand out? Okay, here's how you stand out. You stand out by doing a really, really good job of helping one student, then the next student, then the next student, then the next student. You know, so many times entrepreneurs, people that want to start something on the side, you're trying to go big. And the only way you go big is by being good. So be good for 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about scaling it. Keep showing up and keep delivering value.
Don't despise humble beginnings.
By the way, we're up to 2 now.
All right. Cameron asks, which single stock or crypto should I invest in? That one is easy. Neither. Don't invest in these volatile investments. Stick to the boring stuff like mutual funds, index funds, your 401k, your Roth IRAs. Do not mess with single stocks or crypto. Your life is too important.
Chris Wimmer says, what career advice do you have for someone retiring from the military this year after a 20-year career? Well, first of all, Chris, thank you for your service to our country. You are a great American. Second, I want you to be looking into your military career for clues and direction. Specifically, what skills did you acquire and deliver on in the military in 20 years? Secondly, what experience that you have in the military of 20-year career can you translate over to the private sector? A lot of people who retire from the military, George, feel like it's not transferable. Your skills and experience are transferable. The final piece is, what type of work did you really love? And if you didn't love any type of work, what kind of work do you really want to do? How do your skills and experience set you up? And if you need some additional qualification, go do it. But you can do it, and you should. Again, thank you, Chris.
Beautifully said. We've got one from TGRNDKIE. We want to start the baby steps, but we need help with budgeting. Where do we start? Well, it's super easy. Go download the EveryDollar app, and it will walk you through how to set up your budget. You can do this online as well, everydollar.com. You'll list out your income, followed by your expenses. Your income minus expenses should equal 0. We call that a zero-based budget, and that helps you start to figure out as you track it, do we need to make some cuts? How do we find more margin? Do we need more income? That's what Ken helps you do as well, and so that's going to be a great start. Message me. I can send you some resources on that as well.
All right, next is Mega Neva Joyce. Boy, that's a tough one. Not sure if that's phonetically correct, but that's my shot. My annual review is coming up in a few months. Any tips on boosting my chances for a decent raise?
Like that.
Well, let me tell you this. You can't help your boss determine how much you will get. That's going to be over your head. Here's what you want to do. You want to set yourself up to where you're having an current and an ongoing conversation about a raise. And we don't ask for a raise, George. We ask for a growth plan. It looks like this. Here's the conversation. Hey, listen, I really like being here, and I want to continue to grow here. And specifically, I'd like you as my leader to help me develop a growth plan that includes what are some things that I could be doing better in my current role. 2, what are some skills and experience that I could add to my tool belt to make me more valuable? And in 3, how do we measure that so that I can get more responsibility and more compensation? I'd like to let you write that out for me. Let's get together on this because I want to be held accountable because I want to win. That's how you go after the raise.
That's a good one. All right, back to a money question from David Busby. Do you count maxing out an HSA as part of the 15% that we talk about in baby step 4? I max my Roth, contribute to a 401k, but would like to max the HSA next. Love the question. HSA is a health savings account, and it's not part of your 15% of investing for retirement in baby step 4 because it only can be used towards qualified medical expenses. So your HVAC goes out. You need a car repair done. Well, you can't use your HSA, and so we're not going to count that. But I love the idea of maxing it out, but only once you are in baby step 7, because the rest of the margin, you still need to pay off the house early. You need to start saving for kids' college. So there's a time and place for it, but big fan of the HSA.
Lisa X97 asks, is it realistic to start a second career after retiring from your first career at 50? Yes, it's realistic. In fact, I think it would be a lot of fun. What a fun journey to take that first career and the skills and experience that you acquired, and then put it to something that you actually have always wanted to do, because you don't have to work now, you get to work. I say go for it. You still have many chapters left to write.
Love that one. Here's a fun one. Advice for newlyweds with finances from Caleb. Well, number one, getting on the same page with money. That is the foundation of all of this. If you're not on the same page, you're going different directions, it's not going to end well. So number one, do a budget together, and you both need to have a say in what goes into the budget. And so one person can kind of own it, but you got to make tweaks to it. The free spirits, the nerds need to come together on this. And number two, set a vision and set goals for both of you, not just one of you. Where do we want to see ourselves 5 years from now? We want to be out of debt. We want to have a paid-for house. We want to get the down payment. Whatever that is, be aiming towards that together and have fun. Make sure that you both have some fun money in the budget for each of you to enjoy, to do the things you love to do.
James, how many questions are we up to so far?
That was 9, so you have
That was
one more.
9. Okay,
with a
I
couple
feel like we
minutes
need
to
a
go.
little fun one here. Okay,
All right.
This is very relevant right now. This is from Courtney Gwynn 09. Pumpkin pie or pecan pie?
Oh.
George, you first.
Pecan for me, Ken.
Pecan for me, and a dollop of whipped cream on top.
Just a dollop.
Just a
no more,
dollop.
no less.
Just a dollop.
Oh, this is a fun one for you, Ken. Does maintaining a LinkedIn really matter? And yes, my name is Link. That comes from a guy named Link.
Oh, Link, who wants to know what he should do on LinkedIn. Well, Link, you should be on LinkedIn. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful tool for connection and information. But don't rely only on the messaging format from LinkedIn, because here's the deal. Everybody's there for the same reason, largely for themselves. Nothing wrong with that. However, if you just rely on the LinkedIn messaging to connect to somebody, you might get ignored, because let's be honest, everybody's busy. So here's what I want. Use the information from LinkedIn to make a real-life connection. I know where they work, so I can figure out, I can write a handwritten note and mail it. I can call. I can set up a meeting, all the good stuff. So don't rely completely on the messaging, but yes, you should be there.
Here's one from SC Fishing. What's a good emergency fund amount for an $80,000 annual income? Well, the way we look at emergency funds is 3 to 6 months of expenses, and so the income isn't as relevant of a piece of this equation. And so start to look at, hey, what does it take for us to live in a single given month for our basic expenses? Then we can multiply that out. And if you've got risky, irregular income, you're a single income, and you've got 2 people, I would lean it towards the 6 months. If you got 2 stable jobs, not a lot of health concerns, then you can lean it towards that 3 months. And so it all comes down to your expenses. What would it take for you to survive in a given month? And multiply that out.
Real quick before we get to our maybe one more question here. All you people saying it's pecan, you're wrong. All right, and go back to where you were. It's not pecan, it's pecan.
Who raised these people, Ken?
I don't know what's happening in the world today. Holly Larisse, 28, says, should I stay at a job I hate when my husband and I are a month away from starting the home buying process? Now, you've got 2 separate questions here. Should you stay in a job you hate? No. Should you stay in that job until you replace it because you're in the home buying process? Yes. But do not leave the job unless you have something to leave to. You can hang in there a little bit longer till you replace it, but don't leave it without stepping into something else.
Can I just end with this one? Derek Miller said Ken is a gangster, and I just want to point out how that is categorically
false.
Not true.
Yeah, I mean, furthest thing from gangster there is me. Keep in mind.
That's what I said, Ken.
Early in the
trolls on
segment,
my account.
you ever known a gangster to use the word dollop? I don't think so. Also, one more. Braden Wilson, George, he says, ham or turkey? What say you, sir?
Oh, I'm going ham all day long.
No, sir. Turkey. Get a better nap out of that.